Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and happy Sunday, the 11th of September of 2022. It is a beautiful day here in Utah. As usual, I hope it's a beautiful day where you are too. Now, the main message I want to bring across today is kind of a common theme that's been coming up a lot for me, especially recently, from just a lot of people that I talk to, and it just seems like a super great time to bring this back together. And this is the concept of the victim mentality versus the creator mentality. I think what happens is all of us, no matter how evolved we are, spiritually, personally, whatever, I think there are times in our lives when we go into a victim mentality unnecessarily. We need to realize that life is literally happening for us instead of to us. And when there are things that happen that feel like they're about us or to us, it's not anything to do with us. It's someone else's experience, someone else's reality, and we get to choose whether we're going to be in that victim mindset or we're going to be in a creative mindset or maybe a gratitude mindset. And the whole game shifts. So I wrote down a few things as usual, and I hope that some of these things resonate with you. I did have a really interesting uh, thought process that came in this week earlier. I recorded a little interview for a summit that I'm going to be on. And Ada, if you're watching this, thank you for interviewing me. This was just a couple of days ago. And one of the questions that she asked me was, if you were to go back to your 40-year-old self and give you some advice or something you could change, what would that be? And it was after we got done recording and we actually finished the interview, I was thinking about that because it was a little bit of a difficult question for me to ask because the conversation was a lot about herbs, herbal medicine, taking care of your physical body, plus some other things too. But what was interesting is um, going back to my 40s, even when I turned 40, at that point I had a lot of lifestyle health habits were already dialed in. I was an exerciser already for a couple of decades before that. My nutrition had been dialed in, my hydration, my stress levels. My kids were just, out of high school. And, I was a very young mom, so I had my kids when I was 20 and 21. So when I was 40, my kids were, you know, basically at the end of their schooling years as far as high school and stuff. But what came to my mind pretty quickly was I would have flowed into a state of gratitude quicker. I would have been more forgiving quicker. I would have realized that there were situations that I put myself in or that I was put in that was maybe emotionally charged, and I reacted poorly. I reacted irrationally. And there were times when I was definitely put myself into victim mode. When I was, before I restarted my dad's company, I worked for a big health club. It was corporate America. I was managing a big club. I enjoyed so many aspects of it, but there was a lot of corporate nonsense that went on. And there was a lot of things that um, hurt my feelings or were done unnecessarily because it was corporate and I didn't understand. I took everything personally, and I went through different phases of different things. And that was a time in my life right before I stopped working there, restarted my dad's company. But I was a victim of that situation for a long time. And even after I was even going with the business I'm doing now, I still would refer back to that, and I would hear myself be a victim. And this happened to me, and this person did this to me, and this person hurt my feelings or didn't care about my feelings or treated me bad in this situation. So if I was to go back and give my 40-year-old self some advice, it would be gratitude, it would be forgiveness quicker, it would be releasing myself from the need to have attention or whatever for being a victim. Things happen to us if we let them. And the thing is, life puts obstacles in our path. It's the way it is. It's never going to be what we consider to be perfect. It's never going to be that way. And, as I've gone through all these years now, I'm still don't consider myself very old. Um, but the more that these things click in on a higher level, the easier and easier and easier life gets. And I've found that even though my platform is really pretty small, considering the big platforms that are out there and the followers and the, all the people, um, I can still be very sensitive when someone gives me a comment or sends me an email. And, it's been interesting. Some of the feedback that I get, most of the feedback is lovely and it's positive, and I'm so grateful that I can, put forth little nuggets of things for people that maybe might make you think or change your life, or especially not just with the personal growth and the spirituality, the things that matter so deeply to me, but the herbal medicine, the herbal remedies. There's one little thing that I could say that might, that would maybe say, oh, maybe I need to look into this, or maybe I need to look into this to change my life. Those things are all extremely important. But here's the interesting thing. When you put yourself out, regardless of how small or large your platform is, our platform is, you are opening yourself up to criticism and people's opinions, and they might not like what you say. And over the years, I've gotten some pretty harsh stuff. And when I first started getting things that were like, oh my goodness, oh, holy cow, I offended that person. And I would, I would feel horrible, and I would think, how can I fix this? And I've started to realize that, first of all, um, it's really not my job to make someone else feel better. If I can help someone and I can help them feel better, then that is awesome. I've also realized, especially during the last 2.5 years, especially since the beginning of the pandemic, I have some super strong beliefs, opinions, and ideas about what I feel is happening in the world. But I'm not a controversial person, and and I really feel like I'm more of um, a gentle reminder of a person. So I feel like I could completely um, blow up something because I have super strong opinions on all of these things that have been happening to us as humans collectively since the beginning of 2020. And I've realized it's really not my job, and it's not my style to to put out my message that way. And it's okay, and it's really it's kind of amazing to have these beautiful realizations that life is not as hard as we make it. In fact, one of the things that I wrote down, which is so beautiful, to really change. So this is so good. Stop thinking about time. When we become no one or nobody and we focus on nothing, we will become balanced. Okay, so how beautiful and huge is it? This is again thinking about the Tao. Be neutral. Be in the Tao. Someone is starting to have a heated conversation, or someone even has a heated conversation at you, or something that they don't agree with what you believe in. Um, okay, let it be neutral. I think that we're always on the clock. We're always on a time crunch. We're always running here, running there. And, I had another interesting situation happen this past week. I have a beautiful friend who does massage. And for the last probably 5 or 6 years, she would come to my house and give me a massage. And then it worked out where we were doing a trade. And we were doing a trade for a massage. And she's a lovely human. I love her dearly. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. Well, it started getting to the point where it really wasn't working for me, because the schedule wasn't, her schedule didn't work, and then I would plan, and it would get canceled at the last minute, and it would. So I reached out to her a few months ago, and I just said, hey, this isn't working for me. And the immediate response from her was, what did I do wrong? I didn't mean to offend you. And I'm like, no, 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 nothing. I love you dearly. You're like one of my favorite people. If anything, let's go back to where I'm actually paying you instead of trading you. But I was just simply, this is just not working for me. And this was several months ago. Maybe it was even a year ago. I don't remember exactly. But this past week, I was feeling like I really need a massage from this person, because she's talented. She's a lovely human. Her energy is beautiful. And so I reached out to her and I said, hey, I'd really love a massage this week if you have time. So she got right back to me. We scheduled a massage. I saw her this week, a couple days ago. And she said to me that the text that I sent her was one of the most impactful texts that she's ever had in her life. And it made her realize that when something in your life no longer serves you, it's okay to let it go. And you don't have to offend a person, because I think we beat ourselves up, we over accommodate. And I'm not saying everybody does that, but I think typically as women, we're caretakers, we're nurturers, we want to please, we don't want to disappoint somebody. And when you can learn that it's a good idea to release things out of your life, situations, people. And I talked about this a couple times ago, releasing people in your life that stress you, that don't serve you, that, it might not even be like with this friend, it was this certain situation was not really serving either of us. And we get in these situations where we don't want to hurt each other's feelings or hurt someone's feelings. So we just we accept these things that make us uncomfortable or make us stressed. And we do things that don't serve anyone. So yeah, so I think that's a beautiful thing. So here's a couple of other things I wrote down. So I hope this is not too super random, but it's kind of giving you, like I said, always a couple of nuggets of things that you can think about. This relates, I feel like this relates, and this is important, and this can make a difference in your life. So here's a couple of statements. Realize that you are connected to the divine. We are all part of God. We are part of the Creator. We have that in us. That is us. And that's been programmed out of us. We are part of the divine. You're connected. Realize that you are a product of your own internal energy. This goes back to the very beginning where I talked about being a victim or a creator. We are a product of the internal energy that we produce. We are a product of that. If we change this, it changes the whole game. When you change what's inside of you, it changes the whole game. Everything changes. When things are the hardest, that's when they matter the most. When the voice inside your head causes doubt, then that's the most important time to change your state of being. So when that little voice in your head gives you some doubt, and I'm not talking about intuition doubt where maybe that's the wrong thing to do, but when you find yourself filled with doubt and fear, and I'll put fear in there mostly because humans do not like uncertainty. That's why we follow things blindly. We follow things that we might know are not good for us. Take this last 2.5 years. Look at all the things that people followed along because someone was giving them a path to certainty. It maybe didn't feel the most congruent, didn't feel the best, but someone was providing a path of certainty. And a lot of that has turned out to be completely false and completely wrong. But human beings want certainty. Here's one thing that is certain. There is no certainty. Everything, we don't know what the future holds. We don't know what tomorrow holds. We might see what's on our schedule, but we don't really know what is going to happen. We can control this moment, this now moment. And even then, it's not about even controlling it. It's about how do we want to walk through this world? Do we want to walk through it in a state of pure gratitude, forgiveness, love, and creation? I say to that, hell yes. Yes, that is how I want to walk through life. Or do we want to walk through as a victim? Someone says something to me that hurts my feelings or doesn't match my belief systems, and I decide to be offended by it. We are living in a time when everyone gets offended about everything. And maybe I'm saying that wrong. Some people get offended by everything. And I would say those are the kinds of people that maybe you want to step away from, excuse from your life. Maybe they have their own growing to do, their own learning to do, and bring the people into your environment that can keep you in creative mode, keep you in the love vibration, And that's what it's all about. That is, I think moving forward, that's what we get to focus on. We get to realize that we're the creator. We can choose to be a victim. It doesn't seem like a very fun way to walk through life and say, life's happening to me, I have no control over it. There's a certain amount of things we don't have control over, but that's the beauty of life. Be willing to be spontaneous. Be willing to be open to the possibilities. Be open when things get uncomfortable or things change at the last minute. That's been one of the biggest gifts that I got from my parents is always spontaneity. Always, someone would drop by, one of my dad's friends, and it was dinner time. Always room at the table for them. Never like, oh, it's dinner time, it's a bad time. Be open to spontaneity and living in these brilliant times that we're in, because not only do I have hope in the future, I have full on confidence that we are going to be living in a beautiful, beautiful space. And the thing is, we can do that right now. So, give me some feedback on this one. I think this has, to me, some really beautiful thoughts in it that could um, change the way that we walk through our day. And you can make these swaps super quick. You can choose. You can choose how to have um, a creative mentality or the opposite, a victim mentality. So I hope for you full creation and love and forgiveness and just joy. I mean, you're here, you're breathing, you're loving. Hopefully you're taking care of this beautiful physical vessel you have, and it's here to serve you and take care of you. And even if maybe you've had serious health problems, maybe your health is not good right now, you can still choose. You can still choose how you look at the world and how you view the blessings that you do have in your life. So that being said, I hope you have an absolutely beautiful, brilliant day. I hope your Sunday is amazing. I hope your September continues to be beautiful, full of love and joy and family and friends and everything else that's out there for us to all experience. Look at the good. Always look at the glass as half full. Always. It's the only way to walk through life. So I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't already. Love a thumbs up and maybe even a comment if there's something that resonates with you. But thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.